What's going on, fellas? So today I'm going to give you the lessons that I've learned that made me a better leader as a man. The true definition of leadership is getting someone to do something that they don't want to do when you want them to do it. Leadership is not about being controlling. It's about leading people down a path that's best for them, even if they don't agree that it's best for them. That's what leadership is all about, being a leader. But this is the thing about leadership, guys. People only follow competence. So if you're trying to get a woman to follow you, if you're trying to get friends to follow you, if you're trying to get your children to follow you, you must become competent. Whatever it is, G, whether you're trying to get them to follow you spiritually, mentally, physically, you're trying to get them on your program, you must have competence in order to be a leader. So I'm going to give you a few lessons that I've learned, guys, because as a man, you must take pride in being a leader. It's your duty and obligation to lead from the front. All right, G. So first lesson that I learned is that you must be dedicated to being great at everything that you do. Absolutely everything that you do. And I'll give you an example. When you're working out in a gym, okay, G, you get up at 5 a.m. or you hit the gym in the evening after work. Whatever your case is, when you hit the gym, you are in the gym for a reason. You're there to work out. So you have two options. You have an option to push as hard as you can and have the best workout that you ever had that day. Or you have the option to kind of slack, kind of go through the motions and just make it through. All right, fellas, as long as you went, right? And that's what a lot of men say. As long as I showed up, as long as I went, that's enough. Fellas, this thing about being a leader, you have people who are following you. More times than not, if you're in a relationship with a woman as a leader, you want that woman to get on your program. So what that means is you're going to have authority over most of her decisions. Am I correct? Right. So what that also means is you have a responsibility in that dynamic as well. Even with children, you want your children to listen to you, respect you, and follow your lead. At the same time, you have a responsibility to what? To protect and to provide for them. One of the things about protection is being strong as you possibly can, which you build in the gym. So if you go to the gym and you're not dedicated at being great and dedicated at having the best workout possible and dedicated to be as strong as possible, are you really a leader? I want to be great at everything that I do. Why? Because I want to be great for the people in my life. I want to be as strong as I can for the people in my life. So if anything happens, I'm as strong as I possibly am to be able to protect them. I want to make as much money as I possibly can. So I want to be dedicated to being great, excellent when I'm at work. I don't want to be late for work. I don't want to show up 15 minutes late. Why? Because I'm a leader. If I want people to follow me, I have to lead from the front. I have to be great. And I'm going to get to my second point. You got to do what you say you're going to do. Now, fellas, it's going to relate a lot to number one. You got to do everything that you say you're going to do. This means holding yourself accountable. This also has a lot to do with integrity. And this is why it relates to leadership. You ever been in customer service and you ever heard that person in customer service with their receipt complaining to the customer service representative about how the product didn't hold up to its standards or about how the store promised them that the product was going to do something and it didn't do it? See, that's what most people do. They go back to the store with the receipt complaining to the person about how they didn't do what they said they was going to do. But what people rarely do is hold themselves up to that same standard. All right, G, this is another level to being a leader. If you're going to have high expectations for the people who follow you, like your kids or like your girl, like your friends, and you want them to get on board with your program, you got to make sure that you're trying to get them on board with the right program, G. See, some of you guys getting people on board with your program and you getting mad because they ain't acting how you want them to act, but not understanding that people only doing the same shit that you doing, G. You don't hold yourself accountable. You don't keep your word to yourself. So you can't get mad when people don't keep their word to you. Let's say you're a boss of a company and you don't do what you say you're going to do. Gee, that's energy, bro. You'll be damned if you expect your employees to do what they say they're going to do. All right? They watch you every day not having integrity. They watch you every day not holding yourself accountable. Gee, they going off your energy, bro. They're just doing what they supposed to do. They're following. So this is what some of you guys got to understand when you with women. You got to understand that most of the time, G, and this leads me to my next point. Most of the time, especially with women, they're only going off the same energy that you're projecting, G. All right? Because people will follow you. If you want to be a leader, you got to understand they will follow you. Not just your good habits, but your bad habits as well. Gee, I say this all the damn time, and I love and I laugh when I see grown men complaining about their kids. All right, G, because 9 times out of 10, the dude who's complaining about his kids, he doing worse shit than his kids. I'm like, bro, you don't understand. Your kids see everything that you do. So the same shit you complaining about, G, I guarantee you are currently doing that in some way, shape, or form. Same thing. Most dudes be bugging out and get mad because chicks be lying to them. I'm like, bro, you lie to her. You lied to the chick. You telling her you ain't dealing with a chick. If you just been honest with her, told her you gonna deal with other chicks, maybe she might be honest with your ass from time to time. But you lie about shit that you don't even lie about whole time. This chick might let you deal with other women if you just tell her damn truth. All right, G, people will follow your energy. That's the thing about being a leader, especially as a man, bro. It is a woman's nature to follow you. So this is a thing. Also with attraction. If you are attracting, another lesson of leadership, guys. If you are attracting ain't shit women, it's going to say a lot about you as a leader. All right? The people who you are attracting, the followers that you are attracting. So if you're attracting bad friends and they like you, they want to be around you, but you just so happen to see that all these people are people that you don't want to be like or people that you don't want involved in your life, that has a lot to do with you. That's something you need to change about you or the energy that you're projecting. But understand, guys, you have to have a program in order for a woman, a child, friends, employees, anybody to get on that program. Next thing about leadership, fellas, is you must learn how to listen. All right, G? Silence. This is one of the most important lessons that I had to learn, especially as a leader. And I actually learned a lot of this through fatherhood. See, when you are a what you would call dominant and assertive person, you have the tendency to overtalk people and to kind of put your opinion or your suggestion or your recommendation first. That's my personality, G. If I think something is right, 9 times out of 10, I am not going to want to hear what you have to say. Especially if I know deep down in my heart that what you about to say is contrary to what I had to say. But this is something I learned through fatherhood. The ability to listen more and understand that your perspective is sometimes not the right perspective. All right, it may be a good perspective, but it may not be the appropriate perspective for this current moment. We talk about getting a woman on your program. A big part of getting a woman on your program is listening to her. See, a lot of you guys got this red pill thing all fucked up, G. It's not all about just giving orders to a woman and telling her, you do this, you do that. This is how I think, so you got to think like this. Yes, G, 99% of the time, she is going to be adjusting to your train of thought and how you think and how you see the world. But at the same time, you got to understand how she see the world so you know how to talk to her and help her understand how you see the world. But a lot of guys fuck up with women and you think the woman's not submissive. Nah, G, you just don't know how to lead. You got to understand at the end of the day, these women, they little critters, bro. But they still human beings. And they have thoughts that need to be heard as well, G. So you got to understand that. I'm not saying you got to listen to the point to where you're considering doing what they say, but still keep an open ear. You might get a gem, all right? I learned something from everybody. And that's another thing about being a leader, G. You can learn from everybody. Don't think just because you know more about something that you know everything about that thing, because you don't. You will get the best insights from the people who you least expect it from. All right, guys, so learn how to listen. It's a valuable tool when it comes to leadership. This is one of my favorite ones. G, this goes along with leading from the front and understanding that people will follow you. All right, you must, as a leader, G, especially as a father, all right, I mean, as a boyfriend and husband as well, but you must, as a leader, take full responsibility. Because you know how I always talk about nobody cares about you as a man and you need to take care of yourself, G, because at the end of the day, nobody's going to care about your life as much as you should care about your life. At the same time, you need to take responsibility for everything in your life. That's including the relationships with other people. All right, G, so I'm going to give you an example. If you have relationships in your life between you and another person that's not going good, you need to take responsibility and say the reason why it's not going good is because of you. Yes, I understand. That person may be tripping and they may be crashing out or they may be out of pocket. But G, it's the next level of leadership, taking full responsibility. Maybe I let that person get too comfortable to crash out and get out of pocket with me. That's my fault. Because if I would have set boundaries, G, and not got out my frame, they wouldn't have felt comfortable doing that. You see what I'm saying, G? So it's a lot of shit that can be avoided if you just check yourself first. Because I guarantee you, bro, most of the time, a lot of the bullshit that happens in life and a lot of reason why people treat you the way they treat you or they disrespect you or whatever, it's because you came out your frame. And if you can take responsibility in that, you can look back on all your relationships and all the times something bad happened with women and all the times a woman didn't follow your lead and all the times a woman didn't get on your program or be submissive or cooperative or compliant. It was probably because you got out your frame. But you can't understand that or you can't see that or you can't have better outcomes in the future if you don't take full responsibility for it. So full responsibility and accountability for everything in your life, G. This will make you a leader. When people can see that you can I'm not talking about letting people take advantage of you and you just blaming yourself for everything and you letting them just get off scot-free. I ain't saying that, G. You still hold other people accountable as well. But you got to be ruthless with yourself with responsibility. So that goes along with the saying, guys, and nobody likes this saying, but everything is your fault. All right? When you have that mindset, people will follow you. Why? Because that's competence. Competence is taking responsibility. It shows a lot of incompetence when you're blaming all the time. Incompetence is, I don't know what to do when something happens, so therefore I'm going to blame people and woe is me. Competence is sexy. Women love it and people respect it. All right? So, I need you to learn how to lead from the front. So anything that you ask anyone to do, you must be willing to do it. So if you haven't saw the movie Troy, you know the king, Agamemnon, he always wanted people to do shit for him. Never wanted to get on the front line. That's a big reason why Achilles didn't like his ass. I ain't like his ass either because he wasn't about that life, G. He liked to sit up in his high chair and just point fingers and tell people to do shit and give out orders. But the reason why everybody loved Achilles, why? Because he was ready to lead from the front. Every single time, ready to die for the troops. All right, fellas? Now, I'm not saying you should be throwing yourself out there to the fire and not holding people accountable. But, G, if you're going to ask somebody to do something, be willing to do it yourself. The reason why, and I've been telling this story a lot because I'm proud of my boy. The reason why my 4-year-old son is so happy about doing push-ups every day, because he see me doing it, G. He see me drop it down on the floor doing 50 push-ups at a time every day. So he hype about it. So when I tell him to do it, he can't give me no fuss back. I mean, he ain't going to say nothing, G, because I drop him. But at the same time, he don't give me no fuss back. And he's more eager to do it. Why? Because he see me doing it, G. You got to lead from the front. A lot of fathers want their sons to do certain shit that they ain't never did, G. You want your son to be disciplined, respectful, punctual, professional, a gentleman, spiritual, all this shit. But you ain't none of that. No, bro. You got to lead from the front. All right, G? Because people don't even take you serious when you telling them to do something that you ain't even doing. All right? I can hear it in your voice. People can see it in your eyes when you ain't about that life, bro. So if you want other people to be about that life, G, you got to do the same. All right, fellas? So this was leadership development for the fellas. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, man. Share this with a homeboy who this will help out, all right, G? It's your boy, KD. We out of here, baby.